Shalom and good morning, everybody. I want to do a reading out of these lost books, the book of Ezra, 2Esdras, was taken out the Bible. This is concerning our days as we live them now. So I'm not going to give any commentary on this. I'm just going to read. Okay, this is concerning the end days, the days we live in, right? And I just had this on my mind to read this a lot. And I'm going to read. Okay, so it says here, nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hid, and the land shall be barren of faith. That means there's not going to be any faith left, people. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. And the land that thou seest now to have root shalt thou see waste suddenly. So the one, America, is going to be uprooted. This is what he's saying. And I'm going to get into Ezra 11, Ezra 11, 12, and 15 later today. Right, 15 and 16 is the last two chapters of this book. And you guys will hear these words, and you will look in the news and remember everything that happened with these fires, with these storms, with these locust plagues, right, with all this stuff that's going on. So let's get this in here. Okay. Excuse me. But if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see it after the third trumpet. Yeah, see it after the third trumpet, that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day, 3 times in one day, basically. And blood shall drop out of wood, and the stone shall give his voice, and the people shall be troubled. And even he shall rule whom they look not for that dwell upon the earth, and the fowls shall take their flight away together, and the Sodomitish, well, this is talking about Sodom, the sea of Sodom shall cast out fish, and make a noise in the night, which many have not known, but they shall all hear the voice thereof. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fires shall be often sent out again. So it's talking about fires often breaking out, what we're going through in America. And the wild beasts shall change their places, and minstrous women shall bring forth monsters, and the salt waters shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into its secret chamber, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness, right, the continuing of breaking God's laws, right, then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. One land also shall ask another and say, is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee? And it shall answer, it shall say, no. At that time shall men hope but not obtain. They shall labor, but their ways shall not prosper. To show thee such tokens I have leave, and if thou wilt pity again and weep as now and fast 7 days, thou shalt hear greater things. Then I awake, and in extreme fearfulness went through all my body, and my mind was troubled, so that I fainted. So the angel that was come to talk with me held me, comforted me, and set me upon my feet. And in the second night it came to pass that Salathiel, the captain of the people, came unto me, saying, Where hast thou been? And why is thy countenance so heavy? Knowest thou not that Israel is committed unto thee in the land of their captivity? So again, Israel kept going. Well, Israel, the Israelites, the real Israelites, they went through bondage over and over and over again. Egypt, right? That should give you guys a clue of who the Hebrew Israelites really are. If they were in bondage to Egypt, if they came, basically from northwest or northeast Africa, before the Middle East was split from Africa and created into that little section that you guys see today. When you look at the old maps, the Middle East, Israel, all that was part of Africa. Okay? Northeast Africa. So when you understand who his real chosen people are, you'll start to understand Bible prophecy. Like it says in Revelations 2:9 and Revelations 3:9. Behold, Revelations 2:9, and I don't got my book open, and I know this by heart. Behold, it says, I know thy works, thy tribulation and poverty. This is Revelations 2:9. And I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of those who say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. And again, in Revelations 3:9, behold, I will make them the synagogue of Satan, who say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come worship before thy feet, and to let them know that I have loved thee. Right? He's talking about his chosen people. Now, if we know them Jews over there, the Jew-ish, right? The suffix ish means to be like. So when you put Jew-ish, it's to be like a Jew. That means they're not the real ones. The real ones are in America. The real ones went into 400 years of bondage or slavery in Deuteronomy 28 and Genesis 15 when you read those two together. Okay, now let's continue with this. I just want to give my little insight on that. All right, so knowest thou not that Israel is committed unto thee in the land of their captivity? Up then and eat bread, and forsake us not, as the shepherd that leaveth his flock in the hands of cruel wolves. Then said I unto him, Go thy way from me, and come not nigh me. Well, come not near me, basically. And he heard what I said and went from me. So I fasted 7 days, mourning and weeping, like as Uriel the angel commanded me, right? Because they followed the commands. They followed every last command. In modern days, he said it was going to be a falling away. So I don't think I can help Perry. But this is for you guys that want to understand the end times that we're in and understand the truth. After 7 days, so it was that the thoughts of my heart were very grievous unto me again, and my soul recovered the spirit of understanding, and I began to talk with the Most High again, and said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee only one vine, and of all the lands of the world, the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit, and of all the flowers thereof one lily, and all of the depths of the sea thou hast filled thee one river, and of the builded cities thou hast hallowed Sion for thyself, unto thyself, and of all the fowls that are created thou hast named thee one dove, and of all the cattle that are made thou hast provided thee one sheep, and among all the multitudes of people thou hast gotten thee one people. Okay, this is talking about his chosen people. Okay, so he only has one chosen nation. No matter what anybody says, it's always going to be who you're seeing reading this right here. We're the chosen ones. Okay, This is not to bash anybody or tell you guys you're not going to make it into the kingdom. All you got to do is keep them commandments and you'll make it in. Guaranteed. And understand the truth. And unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. So here you go with that law again. And now, O Lord, why hast thou given this one people over unto many? And upon the run route hast thou prepared others. And why hast thou scattered thy only one people among many? And they which did gainsay, right? Gainsaying is contradicting, right? They did, which did gainsay thy promises and believe not thy covenants, have trodden them down. Okay, so when you forget God's covenants and you forget his laws, guess what? You tread them down. And you think that makes God happy? No, it doesn't. You think that makes his son happy? No, it doesn't. Excuse me. If thou didst so much hate thy people, yet shouldest thou punish them with thine own hands. Now when I had spoken these words, that the angel that came to me the night before was sent unto me and said unto me, hear me, and I will instruct thee. Hearken to the things that I say, and I shall tell thee more. And I said, speak on, my Lord. Then he said unto me, Thou art sore trouble in mind for Israel's sake. Lovest thou that people better than he that made them? And I said, No, Lord, but of very grief, see how this is hard to read. So you guys don't judge my reading, please. This is how it's written. But of very grief I have spoken, for my reins pain me every hour, while I labor to comprehend the way of the Most High and to seek out part of his judgment. And he said unto me, Thou canst not. And I said, Wherefore, Lord? Whereunto was I born then? Or why was not my mother's womb then my gate, then my grave? That I might not have seen the travail of Jacob and the wearisome toil of the stock of Israel. And he said unto me, Number me the things that are not yet come. Gather me together the drops that are scattered abroad. Make me the flowers green again that are withered. Open me the places that are closed. Bring me forth the winds that in them are shut up. Show me the image of a voice, and then I will declare to thee the things that thou laborest to know. And I said, O Lord, thou bearest rule. Who may know these things? But he that hath not his dwelling with men. As for me, I am unwise. How may I then speak of these things whereof thou askest me? Then said he unto me, Like as thou canst do none of these things that I have spoken of, even so canst thou not find out my judgment, or the end of the love that I have promised unto my people? And I said, Behold, O Lord, yet art thou nigh unto them that be reserved till the end. You know, he's talking about the end, the end of days, the end times, the end, like when it's all said and done, when earth goes back to being nothing, where there's no wind, no light, no sun, no moon, no shining, no none of that stuff, no air, no nothing. It's going to go back to nothing, back to the way it was when he first created it. Okay. Okay, then he said to me, okay. And I said, Behold, Lord. Yeah, okay, I read that. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to keep this page down so I could get this full book in view so you guys can read along. But if you're not reading along, I'm sorry, but I'm doing the best I can. But the words are written on this book. All right. And I said, behold, O Lord, yet art thou nigh unto them that be reserved until the end. And what shall they do? What shall they do that have been before me? Are we that be now, or they that shall come after us? And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first. So I answered and said, couldst thou not make those that have been made and be now, and and that are for to come at once, that thou mightest show thy judgment the sooner? Then answered he me and said, that the creature may not haste above the maker, neither may the world hold them at once that shall be created therein. And I said, as thou hast said unto thy servant, that thou which givest life to all, hast given life at once in the creature to the creature that thou. Okay, I'm going to finish this up. That thou hast created, and the creature bear it, even so it might. Even so it might now also bear them that now be present at once. And he said unto me, ask the womb of a woman, and say unto her, if thou bringest forth children, why doest thou it not together, but one after another? Pray her therefore to bring forth 10 children at once. So imagine a woman bringing forth 10 children at once. Okay, this is all common sense stuff. This is what Ezra says. He knows it can't be possible. Just like you can't keep breaking God's laws and getting to heaven. It's not possible. And I said, she cannot, but must do it by distance of time. Then said he unto me, even so have I given the womb of the earth to those that be sown in it in their times. For like as a young child may not bring forth the things that belong to the age, even so have I disposed of the world which I created. And I asked and said, seeing thou hast now given me the way I will proceed to speak before thee. For our mother of the womb thou hast told me that she is young, draweth now nigh unto old age. He's talking about the earth. He's talking about, how old is the earth, and when is the earth going to pass away? Okay. He answered me and said, ask a woman that beareth children, and she shall tell thee. Say unto her, wherefore art not they whom thou hast now brought forth like these that were before, but less of statute? So they're talking about the giants, right? It's talking about, and this is talking about the giants when they were here. Maybe I might read 6 later. I'm gonna just go chapter for chapter throughout the day, probably up until tomorrow, so we get all this in context, right? Because it's a whole story. If we skip around, we miss parts, right? And she answered thee, and she shall answer thee, they that be born in the strength of youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age, when the womb faileth, are otherwise. Consider thou therefore also how that ye are less of statute than those that were before you, and so are they that come after you less than you, as the creatures which now began to be old and have passed over the strength of youth. Then said I, Lord, I beseech thee, if I have found favor in thy sight, show thy servant by whom thou visitest thy creature. Okay, so it says here, this is when God's talking about before he created the earth, he made the judgment, right? And he said unto me, from Abram to Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. The hand of a man is betwixt at the heel and at the hand, other question, Ezra, ask thou not. So it's talking about, the beginning of the man is the hand, and the ending of the man is his heel. Between the hand and the heel, ask of nothing else, Ezra. That's what he's telling them. So I'm gonna come back to read chapter 6, and 7. Then I'm gonna do 8 and 9, then 10 and 11, then 12 and 13, then 14, 15, and 16 later today. Shalom. And I hope this opens up many people's eyes to the end times and the things that we're going to have to endure. Shalom.